Good day everyone! Another day to learn mathematics. I am Eliza Joyce Bernardino, a third-year BSE student in NUST San Isidro campus. Prepare your ears, minds, and scientific calculators because I will be teaching you today how to solve systems of linear equations using substitution method. But if you're unfamiliar with the topic yet, let's have a quick review about systems of linear equations. So, kapag sinabi nating linear equation, its highest exponential degree in any variable is 1. And when plotted in graphs, it forms a straight line. A system of linear equations in two variables is a set of mathematical statements in the form ax plus by plus c is equal 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a or b must not be equal to 0. And a solution to that system of linear equation is any set of real numbers that can satisfy the given equations simultaneously. So systems of linear equations can be classified as consistent and independent if it has a single solution, consistent and dependent if it has an infinite number of solutions, or inconsistent if it has no solution. There are a lot of ways, a lot of methods on solving systems of linear equations, but today we will use two methods. The first one is substitution method, and the second one is the fastest and easiest among all methods, which is using a scientific calculator. Let's now solve this one using substitution method. First step, solve one equation for one variable. In that case, piliin na natin yung mas madaling isolve na equation. Let's solve x minus y equals 10. Then, transpose lang si y, meron na tayo ngayong na-solve kay x. Then, step 2, substitute the expression obtained from step 1, which is, in our case, 10 plus y. Isa-substitute natin siya dun sa isa pa nating equation. And then, masosolve na natin ngayon yung value ng y. Distribute 4 will get 40 plus 4y plus y equals 5. Then, combine like terms. We have 5y equals negative 35. Divide both sides by 5 and then cancel si 5. We'll have y is equal to negative 7. Now, to solve for the value of x, Step 4, substitute the value back to any of the given equation. Para mas madali, we'll use x is equal to 10 plus y. After substitute, we'll have x is equal to 10 minus 7, which gives x is equal to 3. Fifth step, write the solution as an ordered pair. And now, to check if your answers are correct, we're just going to substitute the solved values of x and y back to our system of linear equations. In equation x minus y equals 10, 3 and negative 7 did satisfy the equation. Also, in 4x plus y equals 5, pag sinubstitute natin si 3 and negative 7, makukuha natin is 5 equals 5. Therefore, our answers are correct. So now, how to solve it using a calculator? First things first, make sure that your calculator have the equation feature. Hindi kasi lahat ng scientific calculators meron nun. I-check nyo na lang siguro sa box or sa manual ng calcu nyo if may ganong feature. But anyways, here are some models of Casio calculators that is PRC approved and can solve equations. But the calculator I will use today is Casio FX570MS. Pero para mas malinaw nyong makikita, I will use this ClassWiz Casio, which is a software application sa phone. Same din naman siya ng itsura ng totoong calculator ng Casio. Same features, same buttons, and same designs. First step, press the menu button and choose equation. Then press equals. Choose simulate equation and press the corresponding number. Then select and press the number of unknowns. In our equation, the number of unknowns is x and y, therefore it is 2. And then type the systems of equations. After that, press equal sign and you'll have the answers. We have now x is equal to 3 and y is equal to negative 7. You may now write the solution as an ordered pair. Same lang siya ng nakuha nating sagot kanina manually. Therefore, we already know that our answers are correct. Let us now move on to our example number 2. Solve one equation for one variable. We have x is equal to 3 over 2 y plus 1. Then substitute the expression obtained from step 1. And then simplify. Then solve for the value of y by combining like terms. And then we'll have 21 over 2y equals 21. Cross multiplication, we'll have 21y equals 42 and then divide both sides by 21, we'll get 2. Therefore, y is 2 and we'll have to substitute the value of y to get the value of x. Substituting it back to the equation we solved earlier, we'll get x is equal to 3 plus 1, which is 4. Now we have our answers. Then we have to write the solution as an ordered pair. X, y is equal to 4 and 2. After that, let's check our answer by substituting the values back to our system of linear equations. Substituting 4 and 2 sa first equation natin, ang nakuha natin is 8 is equal 8, which means that it satisfied our equation. Next, our second equation, 5x plus 3y equals 26. We'll have 26 equals 26. It means that our solution is correct. Ngayon naman, gagamit tayo ng calculator. So, earlier, we already set up our calculator into solving linear equations. We already pressed the number of unknowns. So, we may now skip the step 1, 2, and 3. Let's begin with typing the systems of equations and press equal sign to solve for the values. Then write the solution we got from our calculator. We have xy equals 42, which is also the same with what we have solved earlier. And as we have already checked, they are correct. Move on to our next example. We have x plus 10 equals 4y and 1/2 x minus 2/3 y equals 3. Let's solve one equation for one variable. Using our first equation, x plus 10 equals 4y. Then substitute our solved x, which is 4y minus 10, to our another equation. So let's simplify. Distribute the 1/2. And we'll get 2y minus 5 minus 2/3 y equals 3. Then solve for the value of y by combining like terms. Then we'll get 4/3 y equals 8. And then cross multiplication, we'll have 4y equals 24. Divide both sides by 4, we'll get y is equal to 6. Substitute the value of y to get the value of x. Well, let's use x is equal to 4y minus 10. Substituting 6 will get x is equal to 14. We have now the values of x and y. Then now let's write the solution. xy is equal to 14 and 6. Then check your answer by distributing the values to our linear equations. And our solution is correct, because it satisfied our both equations. Let's try now in our calculators. Again, we may skip the steps 1, 2, and 3 because we've already set up our calculators earlier. Let's proceed on typing the systems of equations and press equal sign to solve for x and y. Now that we already have the values, we can now write our solution. xy is equal to 14 and 6. For our next example, we will now solve 3 linear equations. So how do we solve systems of linear equations in 3 variables? The first step is write down the system of equations in standard form. But since our equations are already in standard form, we can now skip this step and proceed to choosing two pairs of equations and then eliminate one of the variables from each pair. In this case, let's eliminate z. And to do that, we have to multiply the second equation to 2. Then rewrite our first equation and then the second equation will become. Let's now solve. To eliminate z, we have to subtract the two equations. This will result to another equation. Negative 4x plus 7y equals negative 11 is our equation 4. Let's put it aside muna and solve for our another pair. In this, z pa rin ang i-eliminate natin. So, we multiplied the first equation to 3. This will result to 10x minus 11y equals 21, which will be our equation number 5. Now, using our equations number 4 and 5, we can now solve this system of two equations, like what we did earlier in our example 1, 2, and 3. So, from equation number 4, let's solve one equation for one variable, and then substitute it to our equation number 5. We can now solve for x. Simplify and then combine like terms. We'll have 26x equals 26. Therefore, x is equal to 1. Then substitute the value of x to equation 4 or equation 5. Then simplifying and combining like terms, we'll get y is equal to negative 1. Then back substitute the values of x and y to any of the original equations. We'll get z is equal to 1. We can now write down our solution. X, y, z is equal to 1, negative 1, and 1. So let's now check if our solutions are correct. Substitute our three values to our equations, to our three original equations. Substituting x, y, z values to 2x plus y minus 2z equals negative 1, we got negative 1 equals negative 1. On to our second equation, 3x minus 3y minus z is equal to 5. Simplifying, we'll get 6 minus 1, which is equals to 5. Our next equation, x minus 2y plus 3z equals 6. Simplifying, we'll have 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. Therefore, it is also correct. 6 is equals to 6. It means that the values of our x, y, and z are all correct. So now, using calculator, how can we now put those three variables? Again, first step, press mode or menu button, then choose equation. Then select and press the number of unknowns. Since we're dealing with three variables, the number of unknowns we have are 3. Then now we can type the systems of equations and press the equal signs, which will give the values of x, y, and z. Then write down the solution we got from our calculator. X, y, z is equal to 1, negative 1, and 1. Let's now solve our next example, which is also 3 variables. So the first step, choose 2 pairs of equations and eliminate one of the variables from each pair. So here are the pairs we chose. Let's solve the first pair first. This time, we'll eliminate y. And to do that, we have to multiply the second equation by 2. And to eliminate y, we have to add the two equations. So, makakancel na ngayon si y and magkakaroon tayo ng bagong equation. 5x plus 5z equals 25. Let this be our equation number 4. Let's now solve our second pair. Let's add the two equations and this will eliminate both y and z. Therefore, we'll have 5x equals 11. 5x equals 11 will be our equation number 5. From our equation number 5, we can already solve the value of x. Dividing both sides by 5, we'll get x is equal to 11 over 5. Let's now solve the resulting system of equations by substituting the x is equal to 11 over 5 to our equation number 4. Simplifying and then combine like terms, we'll get 5z is equal 14. Divide both sides by 5, we'll get z is equal to 14 over 5. And then substitute back the solved values of x and z to any of our original equations. So, substituting them to our third equation, we will get our third variable which is y is equal to negative 4 over 5. Then we can now write down our solution. xyz is equal to 11 over 5, negative 4 over 5, and 14 over 5. Also, let's check our answers. Let's substitute the values of xyz to all three of our equations. In our first equation, x plus 2y plus 3z equals 9, we'll get 9 equals 9, which means we are correct. Let's also substitute them to our second equation, 2x minus y plus z is equal 8, resulting to 8 is equal 8, which means that it is also correct. Let's substitute our values in our third equation. 15 over 5 equals 3, then 3 is equal to 3. Therefore, our values are all correct. Let's now try solving our example using a calculator. And since we already set up our calculator in solving 3 variables, we can now skip the step 1, 2, and 3. Let's proceed on typing the systems of linear equations in our calculator. After that, just press equals, then we'll get the values for x, y, and z. And as we have already checked earlier, our solution satisfied all our given equations, which means that our solution is correct. All 5 systems of linear equations we solved are classified as consistent and independent system because they have one solution. That is all. I hope you've learned a lot from this video.